welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing Cuppa-Jo. Cuppa-Jo is when I do a little background story, kind of like story time, and of course with coffee. Today we are going to talk about sexuality. Personally, my sexuality. So a little backstory from me is that I am from a very, very small town in Texas, very Christian, very Baptist, very stuck in their ways kind of town. I don't really keep in touch with a lot of people from my hometown because I have grown to be this individual and they have grown to be those individuals, and it clashed. So I don't really keep in touch with a lot of people from my past. And there are multiple reasons why. I love my family. My family is my everything. And luckily, I have some very accepting people in my family. So, as most of you know, I am married. I am married to a soldier. His name is James, and we have been married almost 6 years now. So, yeah. He has known from the very beginning that I am bisexual, and he has always been very, very accepting of that. I mean, he knew that he was the one that I wanted to be with, and I didn't have any other obligations to anybody else, I guess you could say, or no hopes for anybody else. Like, I wanted him, and that was it. He didn't worry about, you know, like the stereotypical thought of people that are bisexual is that they don't know what they want. They don't know if they want a male or a female, so they just choose both. And for me, I mean, it's kind of true, but it's not kind of true, because I didn't get to really date women before James. Like, I had some experiences, but I never really got to date any women. And with him, it clicked with him, and he's my everything. Like, if you know him and I, we go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like, he's my everything, and he's an amazing husband. But yeah, when I was growing up, we had a friend of the family called Uncle Amy. It was a female, but she was openly lesbian. And like I said, my family was very acceptable of that. I told my mom maybe when I was 19 years old, 19 or 20. And we don't really talk about it. Like, it's not something that I sit down with my mom and we just talk about it, you know? It was like one of those things, like, we touched it and we left it alone. I guess it was just, you know, she has a cousin that's openly bisexual, so I guess she kind of understands, but she's not, you know, she could care less. She was always one of those people that she's very accepting, but it was also different. I guess that's why we don't talk very much about it, is because when it's your own child, it can be a little confusing, I guess you can say. But I did have a stepsister growing up, and she was very openly bisexual. She dated women. She was very open about it. She was very opinionated about it. So she received a lot of backlash when it came to her sexuality. And I think that's why I waited so long to tell people. I'm pretty sure there's people in my family that still don't know that I'm bisexual, but I guess after this video they will know. But yeah, it was just one of those things, like, growing up in a small town, like, everybody was set in their ways, and if you were like that, they just didn't want to hear about it, they didn't want to see it, you know, you kept it to yourself, and you left it at that. So, I mean, there's obviously still people in this world that aren't accepting of people that have different sexualities. But I think a lot of it comes back to the multiple reasons why I chose to keep it disclosed for a long time was I was a very very Christian girl growing up, and I dated a boy for 3 years, and he had actually, you know, cheated behind my back. We were very young teenagers, but he had cheated behind my back with one of our best friends, and that was a male. So at that time, I had a lot of hate, a lot of hate for the gay community. And now that I'm older, I totally understand, like, when you are caught, oh, I'm gonna get all worked up about it. Whenever you get caught in the circulation and you're in a town like the one that I came from, there's just so much backlash, and you're so scared to come out. Like our church turned on them. Not the whole church, obviously, but a lot of people in the church turned on them, and it was so sad. Me including, and I apologize. I can never apologize enough for what I have said to them. But, yeah, going back to that, there were 4 of us that were best friends in high school. And it was 2 guys, me and another female. And, yeah, the 2 guys were gay, and they were very open about it. And, I knew at that time that I was sexually attracted to the girl. But, you know, we always had sleepovers. We always did things together. We always shared everything with each other. But it was just one of those things that, like, we were scared to death to say anything. Like, I know I was scared to death. I can't say for her because we haven't talked, so I will never know her side of the story. But, oh, I was so scared. Like, you can tell right now me choking up about it. But I was so scared about my family turning on me, the church turning on me. My kids are playing in there. But I was just so, I didn't know how to handle it. At that young, I didn't know how to express myself. And it pent up a lot of aggression towards the gay community, towards anybody that was different. And I kept that from myself because I was just, you do crazy things when you're scared. But I remember I was about to tell this girl how I felt, and I didn't want to tell her, specifically because I didn't want her to turn her back on me and not want to be my best friend. I didn't want to lose that friendship with her, so I hid it from her. But I remember when I was about 16 or 17, I decided it was time to tell her that I had pushed myself away from her for too long, that I had listened to the church for too long, and I was going through boys. I was dating so many guys. Like, I would just one after another. I would date guys, and nothing was ever stable because there was a lot of stuff within me that I needed to figure out, and instead of trying to figure that out, I would block it with men. So, yeah, I finally decided to tell her. And then all the friends that we had that were mutual kept telling me, don't tell her because she says this behind your back, or she said that behind your back. And instead of talking to her about it, I listened to them. So it hurt me so bad to know that my best friend and the person that I had grown to love was saying all these horrible things about me. And so instead of talking to her, I pushed her even further away. And we stopped hanging out, and we stopped being friends. And I started dating more and more guys. So, I haven't talked to her in such a long time. Like, I've checked on her throughout the years. but we just grew so disconnected. And I think it hurts me more because that was my best friend. And we confided in each other with everything, but that was just one thing that we never talked about. So if you're watching, now you know. But I had recently tried to contact her and it didn't go very well. Like, she read my messages, but she would never respond. So that pretty much gave me my answer. But trying to move away from the sad sob story that was. But as I said, in like 2015, you know, that was after I had gotten married to my husband, I decided it was time to publicly come out and say something. So I had put it on Facebook that I was bisexual and that I was attracted to both men and women, and I got a lot of response from it. A lot of it was very positive. I think as the years have gone by, people are more accepting, and they understand that there's just not one way to love somebody. There's not only one, you know, there's that love is love, and a lot of people are accepting of that, and a lot of people still aren't, and that's okay, because hopefully one day they will be, and if not, then that's their problem. But I remember I came out on Facebook and I had some people message me congratulating me and saying how brave it was. And then I had some people say, you're bisexual, that means that you don't know if you want a man or a woman, so why did you get married? I had people say some really awful homophobic things, and it opened up my eyes so much about how much lesbians or gays or transvestites or, you know, asexuals or anybody that is sexually different, they have to put up with this shit on a constant, like, daily, and it pisses me off so much because I'm just bisexual and I'm married to a man. Like, I couldn't imagine having to go every single day and hearing these horrible, awful things being said about you just because you love somebody differently than somebody loves their spouse or significant other. But yeah, now that it's been, my kids are playing outside. Now that it's been almost 5 years since I've came out, I am so thankful that I did, because if I hadn't, I would probably be in a horrible, horrible state of mind. And like I've said, I cannot apologize enough for what I had said to people about their sexuality. You know who you are. And people say some really horrible things when they're scared. And I did it out of fear. Puppies. I did it out of fear. And instead of listening to my heart, I listened to society. And I shouldn't have. But that has been my Cuppa-Jo for today. Hopefully this little story time hasn't been too depressing. I think it's something that we should all talk about if you are curious, if you are still in the closet, still in hiding. I think it's very therapeutic to open up and talk about it if you need to. And for those that are still scared, just know it's going to be okay. There's tons and tons and tons of people that are right behind you or in the same situation, and they're tired of hiding as well. So take care of yourself. Tell that person, because who knows what will happen. And if not, you have that out of your mind and you never have to think about it again. You don't have to sit there and think, you know, would they still be my friend if I had told them? You wouldn't have to think that. And if they're not your friend after you tell them, then they just don't deserve your friendship. Simple as that. But reach out. Don't stay in the closet. Don't stay hidden, because it gets brighter on the other side. I'm so happy to everybody that I've met on my journey. I still go to pride parades. I still go to pride festivities. I have lots of openly lesbian, bisexual, gay friends, and I'm so blessed to have them in my lives, because they make me feel like I'm not alone, even though I'm just bisexual. So, but hopefully you guys took something away from this, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about me in a more positive way, and hopefully I didn't just Debbie Downer your day. But if you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you can see the videos when I post them, and subscribe to it whenever you can. Bye guys, thank you.